What up? This is Robert Ory.
Or three-pointer. Buries it!
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
I don't know how you're standing upright because Rob's back from Dubai. It is the Big Shot Bob podcast. B-Dog Brandon Harper. My name is Rob Jenners. Back from overseas yet again is seven-time NBA champion Robert Ory. Dude, you reached out to us at one point. You were like, "Hey, let's try and put the show together." And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." And then I looked at the time zone in Dubai, and I was like, "Oh, it is the complete exact opposite of LA time."
Yeah,
so if
it's 12 hours ahead.
Yeah, I'm like, if it's 9 a.m., it's 9 o'clock at night. If it's noon, it's midnight. I'm like, I'm not going to bother him while he's over there. There's no way.
But you know, the crazy part is that everything I did was between the hours of 12 and 4. So I was done after that. So that's why I said 9 o'clock. I'm in the room chilling anyway. So it'll be 9. So it gave me something to do because Dubai is a beautiful city, but it's for the young at heart. Man, every night you can hear some boom, 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 boom. The club was jumping. Young folks were out partying. I said, this is a city I should have visited 20 years ago.
Yeah, when you had the youthful spirit.
When I had the youthful spirit, exactly. But I had a great time.
Dude, what'd you guys end up doing? What was the event?
We was with the Lakers took myself and the Hall of Famer Michael Cooper, and we went to we're doing some promotional stuff at UCLA Health Group. They're building some hospitals over there, and they're gonna build one in Dubai. They're gonna build one in Jordan. So we're just over there trying to, kind of a goodwill thing cool. We had going on. Yeah,
it's cool. Man.
It was fun though. It was fun.
Yeah. How's Michael?
Mike is crazy, man. I love Michael Cooper, man. He has a lot of energy, and he loves to. He this is funny. He didn't think I caught on to this. He was like, "Oh, so we're here in Dubai, yada yada. So what do you think, Rob?" And then I start talking. And then I'm saying, I was never set up, man. He always set me up, and I did all the talking. We had a couple panels where all of a sudden he said, "Yeah, we're here on the panel with Dr. Such and Dr. Such and Robert Ory." I'm gonna go ahead and ask people some questions. Like, "Whoa, man, why am I doing all the damn talking? You the Hall of Famer. You should be up here."
Yeah. Well, he's letting you make your case. He's letting you make your case. Speak your case. Speaking of speak your case, don't we find out here in the next couple weeks?
Yeah.
I think around All-Star Weekend, they're going to announce the Hall of Fame inductees. So, I don't know. I'm pulling for you. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to go down or not, but I'm hopeful.
I'm 100% it will not.
Oh, you're saying it won't. Rob says
yeah, because I think to me, it took forever for me to be nominated. So you really think that I'm going to be nominated, like I actually get in on
a first ballot?
First ballot, have been nominated.
Hall of Famer? Dude,
yeah. It'd be great because it's the year of 25, and we talked about that. So it'll be wonderful if I did, but I don't have my hopes up. So if it says you didn't get in, I'm not going to be crushed.
Yeah, I'm. I mean, I'm again, like I said, I'm hopeful, but I'm also realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a pretty loaded group
really
in there with
loaded
you,
group.
And people that are definitely going to get get a nod. So at this point, you just hope you stay on the ballot, you get some votes.
Exactly. Because Coop said it took him 4 times again, so I'm not even worried about it.
Okay. How long do you stay on the ballot?
I have no clue.
I think you can stay on the ballot as long as you receive a certain amount of votes every year. If you go for 4 years without getting any votes, you're off. And then once you're off, you don't get back on. So if people are voting for you, if your name is still in the mix, then you can stay on the ballot. But I don't know if there's if it's like baseball where it's like you're on for 10 years and at that point, if you don't get enough votes, it's adios, see you later. But I don't know if there's like a term limit on it, if you will. But interesting. I'm interested to see what happens. So it's sneaking up on us.
I'm more interested to see what's going to happen to some other players we already talked about to see what's going to happen. It's going to be funny.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Well, we did mention All-Star, by the way. Did you want to? By the way, the week we were off, of course, All this Bronny stuff erupts. Jimmy Butler gets suspended indefinitely. The Kings are trying to trade De'Aaron Fox. Adam Silver's like, hey, let's just go ahead and shorten the NBA games. I'm going through the sheet. I'm like, what a week for us to have a random week where we don't tape a show in the middle of the week. Because, Jesus, I don't even know where to start. There's so much stuff on the table.
Yeah, but we caught it at the end where we can talk about a little bit of everything.
I guess so. Do you want to talk about the All-Star snubs real quick? Just because that happened, that's fresh.
Sure.
And the only reason I normally, and I could see Hart roll his eyes a little bit. I don't care about snubs either, usually.
I don't either.
But I will tell you, though, that you've been singing Norman Powell's praises for most of this season. And dude is having a career year. And I thought for sure he deserved a nod. And I was very surprised he didn't get a look. That kind of threw me.
Well, you think about it, it boiled down to, let's be honest, it's a popularity contest because they're going to say, who can we put in that's going to draw someone to this lame ass game we're going to have? So Norman Powell is not a household name. He's a household name amongst guys who know NBA basketball and know who, what certain guys bring to the table. So I'm not shocked. It's more of a star value thing to try to sell tickets.
Harp, were you surprised Trae didn't get a nod? That was the other one that I thought was kind of he's leading the league in assists. I was like, all right, it's probably a given.
I don't know what it is about Trae that has a lot of voters and fans not see him the way that he needs to be seen when it comes to becoming an all-star, because this is just yet another all-star snub. So,
yeah.
And some people want to talk about, the record and this, that, and the third. Well, I'm like, didn't Wemby get in? Don't they have a worse record than the Hawks?
Exactly. Oh, yeah, no, they're not good.
I get it. Trae's star is not as big as Wemby's star. Even in his second year, it's not. So let's take it away from the record, because it ain't the record.
Yeah. And
let's place it on the actual, whether you like or dislike the player. Trae is not as liked as other players, and he's not perceived as an all-star like some other players are, which is unfortunate, because what else does he have to do?
Well, was it a year or two ago that he was voted by the players the most overrated player in the league? And we're only like a year or two removed from that.
Yeah.
So right. You're right. There's this general universal dislike of Trae Young.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, and it doesn't help with some of the social media things that make him out to be a semi-villain. And you think about who hates him the most, New York.
Oh, Knicks fans. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and so, it's for some reason the Knicks fans have a lot of influence. And to me, he's who gets the nod, Tyler Hero or Trae? I'm going with Trae, man.
I go Trae Young. That's not a shot at Tyler Hero. It really isn't.
It's not a shot, but because Trae is having a better year than Tyler Hero.
I agree. Yes,
I know Tyler Hero might be able to get, most improved or whatever it may be, but that's due because Jimmy Butler's not playing, so he gets a lot more time. And then, and Cleveland has best record in basketball, one of them, and Evan Mobley's been having a decent year, and it's just like, to me, you snubbing people. And I think, you talk about All-Star game, it's so full of crap anyway. They should have 15 All-Stars, not just 12. I think they should, you're talking about taking the time down to 10 minutes. You need to have 15 All-Stars. And because there's so many guys that get snubbed that should have been in this game that, because it's a toss-up when you can close your eyes and pick one. And it's going to be equal to any guy you leave off.
Right. And I don't think it's about the caliber of the game or what is actually going to be on the floor when this happens. I think it's more of a nod to the guys who are, hey, this is the league recognizing the fact that you're having one of those years.
Yeah.
And you're always going to have snubs.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable that you're always going to have snubs, but there are certain snubs where I'm kind of like, and like we talk about Trae, I wish people would just come out. I guess, the people who don't vote for him, don't like him, just come on out and say you don't like him and tell us why. Because I don't know what else kind of needs to be done in order for him to be selected as an all-star. The man is leading the league in assists. And at the time that the voting was closed, I think they were sitting in 5th in the East. So it can't be about the record. Now they're on a 7-game losing streak. Now,
I was going to say.
And some people will sit there and say, well, they're on a losing streak now. I said, so what? You all were hoping something like this would happen to justify you not putting him in. Right. And like I said, the Spurs are worse than the Hawks. Yeah. So.
But it's not, but Rob's right, it's not a team thing.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
That's why I said it can't be about the record.
It has to do with popularity and stardom and whose name do you know? And it's like, God, it's like when people do a March Mania bracket. And you fill out a March Madness bracket, you're picking teams you know. It has nothing to do with anything else than like, oh, I know Duke, I know Villanova, I know Gonzaga. I'll pick them. And that's
So also like I love Harden to death, and I think they're doing really well. I'm like, he's one of the guys that and then you look at guys that get off like his teammate. Harden should be like, yo, I've been playing times. You don't really get shit for this. I'm giving mine to my teammate. Let my teammate
And that's
go.
the other part, too. How many of these guys look at this as something they just don't really even want to do?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I got in. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Freaking got to go to the All-Star game now.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Unless it's in your contract where you get more. Like, oh, you get a bonus. Then oh, hell no, I'm in this All-Star game.
James will show up for the money. We know that. We know that. We know that for a fact. James show up for the money. All right, listen. I don't want to harp on it. But I did want to no pun intended. I did want to bring up the Bronny stuff just because it is like, and when I say everywhere, it is everywhere.
Yeah.
And
which part?
All right. Well, I'm gonna play you. Let's do this. I'm just gonna play you Stephen A. From the other day because this is the part of the story that actually to me is kind of interesting because we've talked about the Bronny thing enough. Mm-hmm. There's some statistics in here. Stephen A. is gonna lay them out that are make you really kind of, tilt your head to the side a little here. But Stephen A. lays out what I think is a pretty interesting point.
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James. But he's LeBron James' son. In 13 games, he has played 44 minutes. He has scored 4 points. He is shooting 1 of 16 from the field, 0 for 7 from three-point range. How are you doing him favors?
So that was Stephen A. on First Take the other day. Now, he's played since that stat line has been out there in the world. But, we've all said this before. He's not ready to be in the show. I don't know if there's an expectation because JJ drafted him or had a hand in getting him drafted that he wants to fill him in and get him some playing time with LeBron as, I don't know if it's like to serve your own, look, we're doing a good thing, we're getting the kid on the court, or if it's to serve LeBron a little bit to say you're getting more playing time with your kid and we're giving him opportunities that maybe he doesn't deserve at the big show level. So I'm not 100% sure why he continues to roll Bronny out there when clearly the kid just isn't ready.
Rob, you take it.
That's one of those questions, man. It's a head scratcher, and you can see that he is an athletic kid. You can see that the talent is there, but there's a lot of guys in the G League the same way. I think the most interesting thing that I've heard out of everybody comment on, he's like a 6'2" guard that isn't a point guard. He isn't a shooting guard. So what is his position? We could have, I look at him as, okay, well, maybe he can turn to Gary Payton II, who's not a shooter, but is athletic as hell and a defensive stopper, and he can do all of that. He can find a niche. But I think Bronny hasn't found his niche yet. And I think it's still, I still think he's too early. I think they're doing him a disservice by, everybody says, the best way to learn is learn by throwing into the deep end and figure it out.
Make him swim, yeah.
But sometimes that can be discouraging, and sometimes it can't. I don't know the kid. I've only met him once, and I don't know his mentality. Maybe that's going to help him down the line. But right now, I think, if it was me as LeBron's teammate, and I'm seeing this guy that gets minutes, and I'm sitting to myself, damn, I know this dude ain't better than me. What the hell's going on? It can be one of those things in the locker room that could, be an underlying bomb ready to explode, and it can not just affect the players, it can affect the coaching staff because, let's say if I'm Coach A and I'm not loyal to LeBron like JJ is, I'm like, man, there's some fucked up shit going on here. And that's the part that I worry about because that could be an underlying situation that disrupts the team and is going to cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna put this in a nice way. It's just a continuation of the circus. Like, I want to see Bronny thrive, I do, but you're almost. It's hard to, on one end, want to see him thrive when you know what all of this is about, and every time he touches the floor, you know that it's one of those things that people are kind of force feeding you in a sense because they want to make it work. And I'm not saying that it can't work. It's just hard to envision it actually working when you know the reasoning behind it. And I don't hate the reasoning behind it because we talked about, how many times, you look at businesses and you look at nepotism, how someone has put their son in a position that they may not necessarily deserve, but because of their last name and because of their bloodline, they were able to get the position. It's no different with LeBron. And I'm not hating on him whatsoever being able to put his son in this position that he's in. No hate whatsoever. But I think when you start, when you lace him up and you roll that ball out, eventually it's got to be about ball.
Right.
And can Bronny ball well enough to be able to not only just get little opportunities here and there in the league, but to be able to stay. And to be able to prove that, hey, I'm an NBA player and not just a G League player. And I don't know. I think it's kind of, in a sense, being force fed in a sense. I'm like, okay, is he good enough? Do you see him as being good enough or not? What are we doing here? How long is this going to take?
I don't know. So here's my other question with this too. And the talking point in here that I thought was at least a little bit interesting was Stephen A. saying, as a father, I'm asking you to put a stop to this. Do we believe that? Now, we know the storyline. Harp, you just said it. You laid it out perfectly. We know what this is all about. It's the LeBron and Bronny playing together thing. I get it. But how much of this is LeBron just going, hey, you got to get my kid some time. Hey, you got to get my kid out on the floor. Hey, why isn't he out here with the team? Like, I'm asking you to speculate because I'm not going to quote you on this. I'm not going to put out a clip that's Robert Horry thinks, But do we believe LeBron is maybe in JJ's ear or Rob's ear saying, hey, we should get him up. We should get him some more time. We need to get him on the floor a little bit more. Or are they just trying to do this as a service to LeBron?
I think it's just trying to find some players. I talked about this earlier where you look at this team. I know I'm probably frozen, but they need some guard play. They need guard play, and they trying to figure it out. I think, when they let Quincy go, I thought that was one of the things, a guy who had that hunger, that desire, that had some potential to be good, could have been a guy they could try to develop, but, it hasn't worked out in their favor, so I don't know what they're doing over there. And I'm just going to sit back and watch, and hopefully it turns out for the best for all parties.
All right. Well, it's going to be a long road. I think we all know that.
Yeah.
Speaking of long roads, let's talk about Jimmy Butler for half a second. I can't tell you the last time, and I don't know if I've ever seen the breaking news come down where a player's been suspended indefinitely. That for me was a new one. I was like, okay, so just until we move you or until we make a decision on what the hell we're doing with you,
stay away.
you don't get to play here no more. And now a lot of that has to do with apparently when he found out they were not gonna start him at practice, he stormed out, made a big to do. He did it. He pulled a Jimmy. What a shock! Jimmy pulled a Jimmy, and they suspended him indefinitely. And now, they got to try and they got a week to put a deal together. Next week's show is going to be fun because we're going to be we're 6 days out of the NBA trade deadline as we speak today on a Friday. next week's show, by the time we tape on Tuesday or Wednesday next week, oh, good. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? But do you got either of you guys see a scenario where they're able to move him? I feel like they have to at this point, right?
Well, they have to, but I don't think they are. That's Pat Riley he ain't gonna be bullied. Pat Riley's been around this league a long time, and he's like, man, you know who I am? I'm motherfucking Pat Riley. You know what I brought to this league?
I coach Magic Johnson. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what I know about basketball? Yeah.
And I think with him is just like it's really not about Jimmy Butler. It's about the Miami Heat. We're not just gonna give you away because you're disgruntled right now. We're gonna take the best thing for us because at the end of the day, we're saving money. We're playing pretty good without you. And we could be better with you, but we ain't no dumpster fire without you. So I think for him, meaning Pat Riley, he's just gonna wait. And I know a lot of people like sharks swimming like, we're gonna give you peanuts, for that. But he ain't gonna take it because at the end of the day, they suspended Jimmy. Jimmy's gonna keep losing money. And the more, he's gonna keep losing money. He's gonna hurt his pockets. And they're like, okay, we just recouping this money, give it back to him.
$532,737 per game is what he's currently leaving on the table. $500,000.
$500,000 a game.
A game. Now, I get it. To Jimmy, he's made it. You know what I mean? Like, he's made that money 10, 15, 20 times over. So it's not. But the reality of that is stunning to me. And I think you're right. I think everybody is going to come in and offer you peanuts for him because they feel like you have to move him. Mm-hmm. But I guess my other question is, after the way this goes down and the way it went down in Philly and the way it went down in Minnesota and the way it's gone down every other freaking time with Jimmy Butler, who's coming to the table to take part in this? Go ahead, bring him over here. He's only murdered every locker room he's been to, but yeah, let's bring him in.
Yeah. But this is the craziest part to me, and this is how stupid fans can be. The whole Bradley Beal situation with them talking to his wife and his kid, that's just so out of pocket. But people forget, Bradley Beal is sitting there like, you forget, I got a no trade clause. So y'all can't do anything.
Go ahead, try and move me. Yeah.
Without me saying, giving you a big okay. So, and people just need to sit back and just say, okay, especially with the Phoenix thing, and like stop it with that. And for those fans, you always talk about banning fans. They need to find out who that fan was that was heckling a little kid and banning his ass from all sporting venues, not just basketball, baseball, football, whatever. Because it's just ridiculous to, try to bring someone's family and they just sitting there watching the game, not bothering nobody.
Does that stuff ever even work, though? Like, when you ban a fan, what prevents you from ever getting into a game again?
It doesn't.
You know what I mean? It's not like they have your picture up, like when you bounce a check at the bodega, they got your picture on the wall. You know what I mean?
And you forget now, Intuit, you don't use anything. It's all facial recognition into it. So,
that's true. I didn't think about that. You're right. Now, your ticket is right here, bucko. That's your ticket. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. Please remove your mask, sir, and your sunglasses.
And your sunglasses. And that funny nose. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. No, you're right, though. That's a garbage situation. I didn't like that at all. Who got tossed the other night? Speaking of Bradley Beal. Damn it, who was it? It was Chris Finch, I think, for the Timberwolves head coach, when he was talking to Bradley or something in front of the ref, and the ref told him you can't be talking to Bradley Beal's trying to inbound the ball, and Finch is like in his ear, and he's like, and Finch looks at him, he's like, I was just talking to him, and the ref's like, all right, fine, and he starts to turn his back, and then like Finch mumbles something else, and you just see Beal's eyes kind of go like this, and then ref just tees him up and kicks him out and bounces him, and Bradley Beal's just standing there holding the basketball like, what the hell is going on? How the shit do I get pulled into the middle of this? What is going on? I was very surprised. I'm not going to lie.
How did you become the capital?
What was that?
What did you hear? How do I become the capital?
Yeah.
Oh, that was me trying to find the Finch video.
Oh, trying to find the Finch video. Sorry. Okay. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? I didn't know what was going on. I thought my daughter had infiltrated the call or something. I was like, what's going on? Get off. Go find the Finch. Yeah, if you have a second to Google the Finch video, it's hysterical. Him getting tossed. Bradley Beal just looks like a little kid watching his parents fight. He's just standing there like holding the basketball and like, oh, it's great. Anthony Edwards runs over and grabs Finch and like pulls him away. Oh, it's hysterical. I was honestly very surprised that the Kings just offered up De'Aaron Fox.
That's a shocker, too.
I was floored by that because the story broke that they were open to trading him, and I'm like, all right, well, that's not a surprise. And then the story kind of evolved into, oh, no, the Kings put this out there. This wasn't him going, get me out, I'm not happy here, or any of that stuff. And that might be happening behind the scenes, but the story has become the Kings came to him and said, if you want us to move you, we'll go ahead and put that out there. I'd be like, what are you talking about? You're going to have to fist fight me to get rid of De'Aaron Fox.
Unless you give me some really nice picks.
You better
really nice
show up
player.
with a Brinks truck and some pretty women, because otherwise De'Aaron's staying right where he is.
Yeah. My thing is, he's what, 27?
I think that's right. 27 or 26 or 27.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, because I think he's in the last year of his deal. He has one more year. Yeah, this is odd. I don't know,
because if you're Sacramento though, like what's the move? Like if you're going to move on from him, isn't he kind of a piece that you like? If you're going to rebuild some stuff, you rebuild around a guy like him, don't you?
But here's what I think. Sacramento is they probably playing this game where I want players to think like we're a good organization. Like our star player, if he's unhappy, we're like, if you're unhappy, let's move you. I don't know. I'm just, speculating.
Yeah, I got you.
Maybe they're trying to be that type of organization because, in the past, they haven't been really an organization that people have talked about, upper management and want to go play there. They might be trying to change the image. Like, look, we have a great owner. He's willing to do whatever for his players. And sometimes that can make a difference in if the players want to go to a team. So who knows?
I don't know. I just think it's a little weird. Now, since they want to trade him.
Don't say what I think you're going to say.
Oh, he's going to say it.
Oh, no, I'm not thinking about the Lakers.
Either way.
That's not happening. I don't see it happening.
No, I think they've already bowed out of that conversation.
One team that I have brought up that I think he'd be really well with is the Spurs.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the leader in the clubhouse right now.
Well, I think him and Wemby, I think that's a good place for him. Mm-hmm. Now, what the Spurs have to give up to get him, we'll see. But I always said, you need to start building around Wemby while he's on his rookie deal, because when it's time to pay him, it's going to take all of heaven and earth and every resource in both of them to be able to get him the money that he deserves, because he is going to make north of $60 million per year.
Yeah.
So you need to start. You need to
set him up where he feels like he's in a championship position.
Yeah, before you pay him, do it before you got to pay him. And so if I'm the Spurs, I get real aggressive at some point.
But, for me, it's, with the new trade clause in the NBA, Spurs aren't going to get De'Aaron Fox because I don't know the particulars of it, but I don't think they have
to match the money.
Yeah, you have to match.
We got to match the salaries.
Yeah. So they don't have anything over there
of that, not of that value.
Unless you're going to say, I'm sorry, Chris Paul, you did us really good, but you got to go. But there's nothing. It's like the Spurs team, they don't have anything over there. I don't know if you can do picks or whatnot, but I got to research that. But I don't think they're going to be able to be in that market because how much money does De'Aaron Fox make? You like, what, $35 million this year?
Something like that.
Somewhere like that.
Yeah, it's somewhere in that north high 30s.
Mm-hmm.
This was the only trade scenario that came up this week with De'Aaron Fox that checked all of the boxes you just talked about, Rob. Having to match the money, having to be right, and it was the 3-team trade deal, and Jimmy Butler's involved in this. So this was the only workable trade that cleared. Butler to Phoenix, Bradley Beal to Sacramento, and De'Aaron Fox and Kevin Huerter to the Miami Heat. That was the only 3-person trade deal that checked all the necessary boxes to match players, money, salary, the whole thing.
And I have a question to you two guys.
Go ahead.
If that trade did go down, who gets the best of that trade?
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. You son of a bitch.
I'll put y'all out there first.
For me, I think the Miami Heat. Because the Heat have, like you said, the Heat have been playing pretty well without Jimmy. You had Kevin Huerter and De'Aaron Fox, okay. Not that Kevin Huerter's any great shakes. I mean, we loved him here in Atlanta, but De'Aaron Fox is a dynamic player. He's a piece that can immediately elevate what you're already doing well. He gets a great coach in Eric Spoelstra. I like that a lot. I actually really like that for the Miami Heat. And I think that maybe kicks them to a place where they would be okay at that point. You don't have Jimmy Butler. Okay, we don't have Jimmy Butler, but we maybe got a little bit of a younger guy in De'Aaron Fox that has that same upside, that same type of potential. Now, he's going to be Jimmy Butler. Nobody's Jimmy Butler. There were numbers this week on Jimmy about, comparing him to LeBron James with how many games he's played in and gotten to the finals a certain amount of times with teams that didn't necessarily deserve to be there. So can anybody do that? Of course not. But I like that for the Heat. I do. I like it for the Heat, but I think for me, out of all of this, as looking at that trade, I think it'd be best for Bradley Beal. Because we know the numbers Bradley Beal was able to put up in Washington. Now he's back in a situation where he can be the man. And he's in a situation where he's used to, being third, sometimes fourth fiddle over there in Phoenix. It's really not who he is. So I think this would work out good for him. Even though I'm looking at the Miami Heat and saying, isn't Duncan and Kevin pretty much the same players? Neither one of y'all can guard me right now. But I think that and Phoenix are still. I think it's a wash for Phoenix. We talked about Jimmy Butler and Bradley Beal being pretty much the same fit, and so I think I would go with the Heat first, then Sacramento second, and then Phoenix last.
Here's my thing about these guys who were the man on the original teams they played for, and then they end up going elsewhere and being maybe second or third fiddle. I think you got to start asking yourself what it is that you value long term. Because even though Bradley has been the man, they're not with Bradley Beal being your number one, you ain't a playoff team. You're not a playoff team. So at some point in time, you got to look at yourself as Bradley Beal, as dynamic as a player as you are. Do you want to win a title, and do you realize, hey, I need to go somewhere where, and I know it's an ego thing, and I know it's hard, it's a hard pill to swallow, but sometimes you got to realize I may have to take a little bit of a back seat for the betterment of the team. Look, D-Wade did it, and it was his city. LeBron and Chris Bosh came in. But it was his city.
Not like this one. Bosh was like a fourth fiddle sometimes.
I get it, but what I'm saying is,
and I'm also just saying, not everybody's wired that way, though.
Yeah,
right. They're not. But see, that's the difference between, I think, guys who can put their ego aside and guys who won't. Guys who are willing to win and guys who won't. I'm not knocking Bradley Beal's game. He's a dynamic player. He can score the basketball, but when he's the man somewhere, you're not a playoff team. You're definitely not a title contender. We've seen that.
Well, you got to understand, Washington was boo-boo, man. They had nothing.
Right.
If he goes to Sacramento, he got Sabonis, who we didn't even need to talk about getting snubbed. Then you got they got a good team over there. I know they 10th in the West right now, and they started out really slow. They got rid of the coach. So think about that. I know that he ain't De'Aaron Fox. I'm not saying that, but there's a good team over there in Sacramento compared to. So you had to ask, who's better, Sacramento or Phoenix? They both got the same record. I think Sacramento is a better team with Bradley Beal than the Suns is with Jimmy Butler. So I think because of Sabonis and what Sabonis can bring to the table, because we talk about guys playing hard in this league. He's probably the second hardest player out there behind the Joker.
Yeah, Phoenix, with the three they have now, they should be better. But we also know that those three making the money that they're making, it depleted your bench, and then you're sacrificing a level of defense. So in a sense, with Bradley being your third option and even coming off the bench at times, they should be better. But obviously, with injuries and the lack of defense, we see that they're not.
It's weird. I can't tell you 4 players outside of the big 3 on the Suns team. Maybe one. Grayson Allen. That's the only one.
Okay. I wouldn't have gotten that one. Nurkic, isn't he still
Nurkic,
there?
Yep, he's still there.
Okay. That's the only other one I could pull. That's it. I got nothing else.
Oh, Bobo. Ain't he on that team? Bobo, Manute Bol's son.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bo.
Yeah.
I was like, who's
Yeah,
Bobo?
Bobo.
I'm like, you talking about Mike Bobo? He's the offensive coordinator at Georgia. What the hell are you talking about? Shit are you talking about? Hang on. Let's look at the Suns roster. Suns roster. And let's find out. Okay, Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn. Bol is there. Good job. Oh, Plumlee's there. I forgot.
Oh, he's there?
Yeah, Mason Plumlee's there. Forgot about him. Okogie's there.
Oh, yeah. He had like, what, 30 to 35 or something the other night,
Yeah.
huh?
Monty Morris, Damian Lee is there. Okay. Okay. I mean, some of the other ones I'm just like, I don't know. Yeah. Royce
And
O'Neal.
there's no disrespect to them. It's just
No,
like
it's just, you like you said, you get
there's a bunch of journeymen.
You're exactly right, and you're getting
been on
and you get what you
multiple teams.
You get what you
Yeah.
pay for,
Yeah.
and when you like Harp said, when all of your money is allocated to three dudes, it kind of leaves you a little thin with what you can go out and fill in around those guys with. I do want to talk about very briefly. We don't have to go too far into this, but the stat this week about Joel Embiid.
What's
So
that
now-
stat? I've been out the country.
Okay, I'm going to fill you in. See, this is good. This is you not knowing what's going on. There was a stat that popped up this week. Joel Embiid missed his 400th career game this week.
Damn.
Okay, so it means that of his career, he has played in 446 games, and he has missed 400 games. It means he has already missed 47% of his NBA career. He's creeping in on missing 50% of his entire career. Here's the run that's going to make you sick. It means that according to what he's making, he has made $125.7 million sitting on the bench. Of his career earnings, $125.7 million has been paid to him in street clothes.
Hart, will you take half of that?
Half. I'll
He
take
is the most.
$1 million. One. That's all I need is just one.
He is the most expensive weight holder on the bench of all time. Like you know how you put something down on a piece of paper to prevent it from flying away? Joel Embiid is the biggest human weight.
He's a paperweight. That's what he's
He's
saying. Yeah.
I mean, that the bench has ever seen. It's ridiculous. He is the captain of the All NBA bench team.
Oh, no, hey, hands down.
You know, we put that team together. We talked about that team at one point in time.
Oh, we did. Yeah, Kawhi was on
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Ben
Embiid's
Simmons.
on there. Simmons is on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, 47%. You've missed 47% of your career games. Like, I remember at the beginning of the season, we were kind of talking about the fact that there was somebody had said, well, if Joel Embiid misses 50% of the games of the season, don't be surprised. And I was shocked. I was like, what are you talking about? You can't go into the season with that kind of an expectation. This motherfucker's missed half his career. He's missed half his career. So at what point, if you're the Sixers, do you go, do we want to continue to do this? Half the time he's unavailable. Half the time. And that's, even when he's healthy, he's not available. That's just that can't be a win. It can't, like, there's no way that their ownership and their management will continue to look at that kind of a number and just go, nah, just go ahead. Let's bring him back another. Let's get him on another deal. Let's get him an
I
extension.
know we talk about players being hurt all the time, but sometimes I think we forget this dude missed like the first 2 years of his career
Sure did.
being hurt.
Yep.
You know, he was drafted hurt. And he was drafted hurt, and he was weighing less back then, but now he weighs a lot more. It's going to get more injuries down the stretch. So he's one of those players where I'm like, I love you when you're healthy, but I can't pay you money. You know, I had to put some type of clause in your contract for every game you miss. For every 2 games you miss, I get my money back. Something, man, because
right?
to miss half your career and still want big money?
You stole $125 million from the Philadelphia 76ers. Stole it. You got paid to sit there and do nothing. You stole that money. By the way, the Sixers have not had an easy road this season, though, so I don't mean to shit on them. But so here's the health bug with the Sixers. Ready? Embiid has missed 32 games with a knee. Paul George 15 games with a finger. Caleb Martin missed 14 with a hip. Andre Drummond has missed 17 with a toe, and KJ Martin's missed 21 with a foot. They've won 11 games. They're the number 11 team in the East right now.
Hey, Rob, you want to take your prediction back about the Sixers?
Hey, yeah.
You said they were going. You said they were making the playoffs.
I thought they would make the playoffs, but damn, I didn't know the injury bug was not an injury bug, but an injury elephant.
I'm still trying to figure out. How you thought that.
I thought maybe Paul George could make it through. I thought Tyrese Maxey, who could have been an all-star. I thought, the two weren't going to be hurt at the same time. I figured one will get hurt, the other will be back. The other will get hurt, he'll come back. Don't look at me like that, dog, man. My feelings starting to get hurt.
You put too much faith and stock in a team that ain't showing you nothing. When Joel Embiid is hurt and he's not healthy, that's why they going nowhere.
Man. I said playoffs. I ain't saying NBA finals. I said playoffs, man. It's 10 teams can make the playoffs.
And they not sniffing the playoffs.
At this point, no. It was great, though, that if you go back and you watch us on YouTube, that as Rob is making his point, Harp is rocking like your grandfather, listening to you talk shit. You know what I mean? He's just sitting there listening to you run your mouth and just judging you the whole time. Yeah. That's a Pop's move. All right, let's do this Adam Silver thing real fast. He was on Dan Patrick's show this week, the commissioner of the NBA, and he sort of set the world on fire a little bit with this one. As we get more involved in global basketball, the NBA is the only league that plays 48 minutes. And I am a fan of 4 10-minute quarters. I'm not sure that many others are. I mean, putting aside what it means for records and things like that, I think that a 2-hour format for a game is more consistent with sort of modern television habits. I don't think people in arenas aren't asking us to shorten the game, but I think as a television program, being 2 hours, that's Olympic basketball is 2 hours. College basketball, of course, is
yeah. But if you like it, I'd say it has kind of a little bit of a push there.
Yeah, but it's such a dramatic change to the game. I mean, I think something like that would have to be talked more about. Yeah, I would assume so. There's no chance in hell this ever happens. No. And I'm not knocking the commish. The players' union will never let this happen.
Well, I think if you knocked it down to 10 minutes, you forget sponsorships are what, drive this league. Now you got to think about that's what, they say 20 minutes, less time you got for sponsorships. So stop it, Adam. You're forgetting about the most important thing, sponsorships, which is hard to come by nowadays. So less time means less sponsors. And less time means more commercials. So you're still going to draw out to being 2.5 hours. I can tell you how you can cut some time out. Take that damn charge sucker out of there. Take all the damn reviews out of there. So once you want to review something, have fucking Secaucus already sitting there saying, hey, it's A, B, and C, and D. Don't have the damn ref go to the mother. Oh, the foul was on Brendan Harper for illegally pushing his hand into the player's chest, which caused the result of him to run into James Jenner and da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, you got to have a whole conversation about it.
Yeah, I don't need that shit. Just say, this happened, let's move on. It's little things you can do to take out to make it so the time won't be so damn long. So, man, stop it. Leave the minutes there.
I have to tell you this. I did not expect you to go the corporate road. I thought for sure you would go the player road. You would go the less time means less minutes played, less opportunity to bonus, less opportunity to score, less opportunity to put numbers up. All the stuff that drives the incentives in your contract. Now all of a sudden you have 8 minutes less a game to make any of that stuff happen. I thought you were going to go players road all the way, and you're like, sell more shit. I was like, wow.
Technically, that falls into the players because the more sponsorships you get, the more the player's salary goes up. So
that's right.
So I'm hoping in 3 to 4 years, Christian, get us paid, son. Get us
paid. That's great. That's going to be the name of this week's show. Get us paid, son. Oh, God, that's great. All right, let's do one more thing. Then we're going to do Big Shot of the Week, and then I've got a fun game this week. It's a rapid fire game, but this one's going to be called Did You Know? And I think you guys will have fun with this one. It's a little offbeat, but I liked it. What about peanut butter and jelly M&Ms? They officially hit the candy aisle this week. Now, they were put out by M&M Mars late last year. It was announced they were going to do this. They are now officially on store shelves. The new peanut butter and jelly flavor will carry, quote, just the right amount of peanut butter punch, and it's got a smooth, gooey center that just transports fans to the comforting experience of a PB&J sandwich. Would you try peanut butter and jelly M&Ms?
Let me just say this, man. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I really love the Snackables is the one.
Oh, the Uncrustables.
Uncrustables.
The frozen guys.
I love. I can't have mine frozen though, but I love Uncrustables. So I love peanut butter and jelly. I even get my smoothie from this place down the street that has a peanut butter and jelly tasting smoothie. So I would definitely try these.
Okay. See, I love a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but at no point have I ever been. You know what would have been really good with this? A chocolate candy crust all around it. You know what I mean? But I don't like. Here's the thing: peanut butter M&Ms are freaking good.
I love those.
Peanut butter M&Ms are. I mean, and I'm a peanut butter person. Like anything with peanut butter, and I'm in. I'm down.
Do you put peanut butter on your pancakes?
Oh yeah, I've done that. I've done. We used to make.
Don't knock it till you try it, man.
Don't do that. We used to make Eggo waffles, and we would toast them, and then pop them out of the toaster and smear peanut butter all over them. And
let me just say this.
God, they're good.
Just take a little bit of peanut butter and put it on your pancakes and try it. I'm telling you. And if you want to be really adventurous, throw some bananas in there too. That shit is good, dog. I'm telling you, man.
Bananas and peanut butter, delicious. No, they're really good. But yeah, no, I don't know if I'm down for PB&J M&Ms though.
But though, I'm telling you, peanut butter on your pancakes is a thing that when I was, weighing a $105, I did that for the extra protein and try to gain weight, but it's still good to this day.
Good. All right, let's.
I'm gonna try those M&Ms. I might go.
Go ahead. I'm anxious to see if they're any good, man. I'm anxious to see if they're any good. They're on store shelves. I'm anxious to find out. All right, let's do a quick Big Shot of the Week, and then we'll play our game, which I think we'll have fun with. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to L.A. restaurateur Marissa Hermer. She launched a food delivery service to feed families displaced by the wildfires. It's called You Give, We Cook, They Eat. She was initially told she had lost her French bistro in the Palisades fires, and then she just decided to take she's got 2 more restaurants in West Hollywood, and turned them into meal centers. So as people would bring meals, they would cook food for people and then just get out there and distribute it and hand it out to families all over L.A. So it's just cool to, again, it's another L.A. story where obviously we are still thinking about L.A. Rob, you are right in the middle of it still. And, it's easy for stuff to leave the news cycle and then you kind of forget that it's happening, but this is a very long road for L.A. So big shot to Marissa Hermer because stuff like that's going to get it through.
Yeah, I saw this story and I was like, I think she even lost her home. I'm not sure.
I think she did. I think you're right.
Yeah, and she's still doing this for other people.
She's still putting out for others.
Yeah, so that's a big shout out to her because it's sometimes you can, a lot of people put themselves before others, but she's putting others before herself and her family. So I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, this week's game's fun. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. So you know how we do rapid fire? We'll put 60 seconds on the clock, and you guys just guess. So instead of general knowledge trivia questions, here's what I've done.
Oh, no.
Everything in this game, true or false. Okay? That's all I need from you. I don't need you to come up with the answer. I don't know. True or false. All of the questions are going to be about off-court antics of NBA players. I don't say antics, but like things in their lives that maybe you don't know true or false. Like for instance, the reason I put this game together, I didn't know this week, and I think everybody found out this week, that Dwayne Wade had 40% of his right kidney removed last year because he was dealing with cancer. And that came out this week that he had, and it was one of those like, oh my God. Now he hadn't put it out in the world and shared, but he shared it this week. And 40% of his right kidney he lost with a cancerous mass they had to take out. And he's thankfully doing well, and he's on the mend. He seems to be in good spirits, and they have a handle on it. But it's one of those random things that you're just like, man, what don't you know about people? So, Rob, would you care to go first, or do you want to default to Harper? Oh,
I like to go first because the last time Hart went first, he kicked my ass.
Oh, it's true, he did. All right.
I remember.
So these are a little more tricky to put together than random general knowledge trivia questions. I think I have enough to get us through 2 rounds, but if we cook through these, then we're only doing 1 round. So we'll see. All right, Rob, all you got to tell me, true or false. 60 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Charles Barkley used to play with a belly button full of Vaseline so he could put some on his lips when they were dry.
True.
True. Shaquille O'Neal has a dog named Charles.
True.
False. Dennis Rodman once tried to marry himself.
True.
True. Anthony Edwards likes lions but said he couldn't get one because I ain't got the house for it.
I'm say true.
That is true. Scottie Pippen made a bet with Michael Jordan that resulted in Scottie having to get a 23 tattoo.
False.
False. After Malice at the Palace, Ron Artest asked Steven Jackson, do you think we'll get in trouble for this?
True.
That is true. At age 23, Jaren Jackson Jr. is currently the longest tenured Grizzly.
True.
That is true. Dwight Howard shot over 50% from 3 for the last 3 years of his career.
True.
False.
I thought he made that in L.A. He was
shooting like in the 30s or the 40s or something. I don't know.
I thought he made like 3 in a row. It knocked him over 50% or something like that.
All right, so listen, you did pretty good there. You got Chuck was putting Vaseline in his belly button during games.
I heard that story. I was like, what the fuck?
Dennis Rodman did try to marry himself. I don't know. Dennis Rodman did try to marry himself. You're absolutely right.
That was when he wore the red dress.
Yeah. Which one did you miss? Yes, Ron Artest asked Steven Jackson, you think we'll get in trouble for this?
I do remember that one.
That's hysterical. All right, you only missed 1, so you got 7. Good job. Yeah. All right, Hart. Looks like we're going to have enough to do 2 rounds, though. So here we go. Brandon Harper. Paul George's parents are Paul and Paulette George.
True.
That is true. Michael Cooper, speaking of, was the only player to win Defensive Player of the Year while coming off the bench.
False?
That's true.
Oh,
Kobe Bryant is the only player to score 30 points on every team in a single season.
True.
False. It was James Harden. James Harden.
Oh, dang.
Besides Robert Horry, the only other player to win a ring with 3 different teams is John Sally.
True.
That is true. The Orlando Magic are named after Disney World.
I want to say false.
It is false. Good job.
Yeah.
Jay-Z is part owner of the Brooklyn Nets.
Not no more. False.
Good job. False. Yeah, no. Not anymore, he ain't.
I missed 2.
He does still own a part of the Barclays Center, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
I think I missed 2.
You did. You got. Let's see. You got Paul George's parents are Paul and Paulette.
Paul and Paulette. That's crazy.
No, that's ridiculous. So you got that. You got Michael Cooper coming off the bench. You missed. And
I missed Kobe.
Yeah. All right. Well, that one's going to go to Rob. That's a 5-7 or 7-5 win for Rob.
It's about time it broke my win streak.
I know.
A win streak of 2 ain't shit.
No. It's going back a little further than 2.
Oh, we're gonna start keeping that. We need to put up a board right over that.
Yeah.
What did I say? Out of time? What did I say? I can't read that.
Out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
over behind
over
me.
there.
Oh, yeah.
On that whiteboard right there.
Yep,
That's a whiteboard right there.
Your name ain't been in the winner's circle for a minute.
Hey, man, why you got a bag on me like that, man?
I'm just trying to be honest with you.
I'm trying to keep it 100, man.
I'm trying to be 100
What are you talking about, dude? All right. So here we go. Harp will get to go first this round. Let's load them up. True or false? Here we go. Allen Iverson's younger brother is named Mr. Allen Iverson.
False.
True. Manute Bol eloped with a woman from Sudan and paid 80 cows to marry her.
True.
That is true. Draymond Green recently started a new podcast called Anger Management.
True.
That's false.
Dang.
In 2013, Marc Gasol won Defensive Player of the Year, but made All-NBA Defensive Second Team.
True.
That is true.
True.
Pau Gasol went to medical school for a year and still sat in on procedures after joining the NBA.
True.
That is true. Dr. J has received an actual PhD.
False.
That is false. The Lakers and the Celtics have won 43% of NBA championships.
True.
That is true. The Miami Heat started in the Western Conference.
True.
You got it right, but you got it after the clock.
Dang, because I mean the Hawks. The Hawks were in the West at one point.
They were, but the Heat started in the Western Conference, which I didn't know that. All right, let's see how you did here.
When the hell did they start in the West?
Oh, this would have been what, the early 90s, late 80s?
It had been the first year because they
they were in the East almost immediately after.
Yeah.
Let's see, Mr. Allen Manute Bold paid 80 cows to marry a woman.
Yes, he did.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
And he won the lottery twice.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? Manute Bold won the lottery twice?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
How much did he win?
I don't think it was a lot. It was like one was like $1 million, and I know he's saying that's a lot, but you got after taxes they took it. Yeah. I don't know, but don't quote me. But I know I heard he won the lottery twice.
We're gonna have to put a Google on that. Damn.
Yeesh.
All right. Well, Rob.
Yes. I missed 3.
Yeah. You gotta get 5. You gotta get at least 5 here to close this joker out. So here we go. 60 seconds. More than 75% of NBA players go broke within the first 5 years of retirement.
True.
False. Of the 8 original NBA teams, the Celtics and the Knicks are the only teams to have never moved or changed their names.
True.
True. The only team to ever have 3 players, all NBA first team, were the Lakers.
True.
False. Air Jordans were once banned in the NBA, and David Stern fined Michael Jordan $5,000 every game he played in them.
True.
That's true. Phil Jackson was close to getting Scottie Pippen to join Kobe and Shaq in the Lakers in 1999, but Jerry Buss shot it down.
True.
That is also true. Michael Jordan is the only player in NBA history to leave or be traded following an NBA Finals MVP performance.
False.
False is correct. Shaq has played 1,207 games and only has made 1 3-pointer. That was a 4 spot. Oh no. That was a 4 spot.
What was that? Shaq would have been what?
Shaq played one that was a true. Only made 1 3-pointer in his whole career. So let's see what you got. Yeah. More than 75% of NBA. No, it's like 40% or something like that. That was a high number. Of the 8 original teams, the only ones that never changed their name or moved were the Celtics and the Knicks. And the only ever, and that wasn't the Lakers to have the only 3 players named to all NBA first team. I think it was somebody else, but I can't remember who it was. But it wasn't the Lakers. And then you got Jordan, you got the rest of these. So you did good. Oh, by the way, was that?
I wonder who that team was. Sixers.
I should have written it down. I know I saw it in the questions run. I just changed it to the Lakers as bait, and it worked. The one that you got right, which I wanted to talk about, was Michael Jordan is the only player in NBA history to leave or be traded following an NBA Finals performance. He left the Bulls in '98, so that is true. But there was another player to do it. Do you know who it was? The player got traded or left. No, it was Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah,
won Finals MVP, and what was that? 2019. In Toronto. Mm-hmm. And then was with the Clippers the next season. So, yeah, how about that?
That's interesting right there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, well, let's see. How many questions do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only have 7 questions left, so I can't do a full round. But we can go back and forth to determine a winner here. First one to miss one.
Go ahead.
All right, Robert Ory. Jamal Crawford holds the record for most points off the bench with 51.
True.
That is true. Brandon Harper. Scott Skiles has the most assists in a game with 30.
Dang. True.
That is true. Here we go.
For the Orlando Magic.
So this is it. First one to miss one. Robert Ory. Steph Curry holds the record for scoring a triple-double in the least amount of minutes played, 27.
False.
False. You know who did it? Luka Doncic.
I was about to say.
Yeah. All right.
Talking about that. Mm-hmm.
Harper. Muggsy Bogues is the shortest player in NBA history at 5'3", but blocked 39 shots in his career. True or false?
True.
That is true. No, it's true. Robert Horry.
I thought Earl Bork.
It ain't about what you thought. Keep going. It ain't about what you thought. These are factual things. It ain't about what you thought.
All right, Rob. Steve Ballmer promised to buy every Clipper a Clipper if the Clippers win an NBA title.
That sounds so outlandish. I'm gonna say true.
And the win goes to Brandon Harper. That is false. That is a false statement. I'll give you the last two I had on here just for fun to see if you guys know them. Paul Pierce was stabbed 11 times at a nightclub.
True.
Underwent lung surgery 1 month before the 2000-2001 season started. Was back on his feet in 3 days and played all 82 games.
That was true.
That is true. No player has ever worn the number 69 while playing in the NBA.
That's true.
That's also true. I think Rodman wanted to do it once, and David Stern shot it down.
Yeah.
And that was.
Hey, let me just say this. David Stern's in the league right now. It'd be so much shit shot down.
Oh, my God. No, yeah. All the antics that are happening. 10-minute quarters, this never would have even been in the conversation with David Stern.
Hey, let me just say this. So text that our boy Draymond have been suspended like 15 times.
He wouldn't be playing right now.
None of these texts.
No, he wouldn't even be playing right now. He'd be looking for a job. He'd be working at McDonald's.
Hey, look out for this. It say it's developing.
Uh-oh.
The Pelicans are in a trade talks with the Heat for Jimmy Butler with an offer centered around Brandon Ingram.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna go down. I'm just saying.
That would fit, for the Heat. I tell you, the Heat. I'm telling you, Pat Riley, he gonna say, "Fuck y'all. I'm doing what's best for my squad because I like winning." Oh,
Interesting.
Yep.
Now, I don't know. I have a feeling by the time we huddle back up on Tuesday, there's going to be a lot of stuff that has developed over the weekend.
When we huddle up again on Tuesday/Wednesday, how many of you guys think Jimmy Butler will be traded?
I do. I think they'll be. I don't know if he'll be officially out, but I feel like they'll by Tuesday or Wednesday, there's a deal in place to move him.
I think at some point in time, it's not about Pat Riley being bullied. I think at some point you got to just get from under this.
Yeah, he wants it to be over. He wants it to be over. He wants a peace for him. He wants to move on from it. He does not want this hanging over. Pat Riley has been asked more about Jimmy Butler in the last 3 weeks than I think anything in the history of that man's life. He's got to be sick of talking about Jimmy Butler at this point.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler, or the three-peat that he's still getting paid for.
The what?
He has a patent on the word three-peat.
Who does?
Who?
Pat Riley.
Oh, Pat Riley. I thought you said
Pat
Jimmy
Riley.
Butler did.
Yeah.
I was like,
No,
what
Pat
the
Riley.
hell are you
No.
talking about? Yeah.
How you have a patent for 3 people when you ain't won one yet?